Goodbye 2025 and hello 2026. Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. And it is the new year. It is 2026. It's hard to believe that 2025 is in the rear view mirror as we look forward to everything happening in 2026. It's going to be a very busy year. But before we get to all of that, let's talk about everything that happened in December, which was a jam-packed month for me, the last month of 2025. Let's talk about everything that happened. First off, one of the biggest things to happen was, of course, my trip to Disney World in Orlando, Florida. I have been looking forward to this trip for probably about a year, if not a little longer. Tisha and I had planned to go down to Orlando after we spent some time at Disneyland back, what was that, 2024? I think it was. Was it 2024? I don't even remember at this point. I'm pretty sure it was 2024. But we had planned once we visited there that, we really wanted to visit Orlando as well, since we had never traveled together to Disney World. And it was so exciting that we just said, let's just make it happen. So we planned a trip, and it so happened that Becca and Mary were also planning a trip to Disney World. And we kind of linked up our trips and said, why not go down together? And that's exactly what we did. And even though we were all there together, we had fun just spending time with our besties and enjoying hanging out at the parks on our own. And it was a lot of fun. I really am so glad that I got to spend time with Tisha and also spend time with Mary and Becca as well, getting to escape from the world a little bit and enjoy the Disney bubble. Now, this is the first time I had ever been to Disney World during Christmas. I had been during, back in 2018, I had gone during Halloween and did Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and all the fun festivities that go along with that. This is the first time that I went during Christmas, and I have to say, I am not the biggest fan of Christmas, but I can tell you that Disney kind of warmed my Grinch heart a little bit. I had so much fun walking around and seeing all the Christmas decorations, hearing the Christmas music, looking at the Snope. If you don't know what that is, it is fake snow that uses soap, so it's Snope. And of course in Florida you can only get Snope. I don't think it ever snows in Florida. Maybe it did at some point. I'm sure it has. But anyways, yeah, so it was a lot of fun walking around and checking everything out. We went to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party twice, not once, but twice. Had to take it all in and enjoy it. And I'm glad we actually went twice because there was stuff we didn't get to do on the first night that we were able to do on the second night. And it was just a lot of fun. It was great to be a kid again and just have some fun. We had a lot of laughs and a lot of fun times. We had some interesting times too. Like, for instance, when Tisha and I got evac'd off of Figment, one of our favorite rides in Disney World. And it was fun getting to see kind of behind the scenes as we literally walked on the edge of the platform to the beginning of the ride. So I've never had that experience of getting evac'd off of a ride. If you don't know what that is an emergency exit. Thankfully, a calm and collected emergency exit. It wasn't, we weren't in any danger or anything like that. Unfortunately, the ride broke. Well, I say unfortunately, but I kind of loved it. That was a really amazing experience, to be quite honest. But anywho, the ride stopped in the middle, and unfortunately, they weren't going to be able to restart it to get the cars moving again. So they had to take us out of the cars and walk us out through the front entrance of the ride. So something that I've never had happen before, and it was quite special that it happened on Figment. We also got to have lunch with Stephanie, who is a subscriber on Becca's channel. I think she probably subscribes to me too, right? Right? I know she does. But it was great to see her and her husband and meet her in person. She gave me a lovely gift, so thank you so much for that lovely Christmas gift. And yeah, it was just a great time all around. We went to Gideon's Bakehouse to get cookies. Lots of cookies, probably too many cookies. If you've never been to Gideon's, definitely go check them out. They're very yummy cookies. Oh, so good. I crave them every time I go down to Florida. And even when I'm not in Florida, I still crave them. But anyways, had a great time going to Gideon's, riding the rides like crazy. I got Tisha on a roller coaster that she's never been on before, Slinky Dog Dash. There may have been some four-letter words said. Sorry, kids. It was still a fun time. We got lots of photos, and I will be sure to put a photo montage at the end of this video. So make sure to stick around to the end. You want to see all the fun photos that we took during that trip. I'm trying to remember everything that happened. It was just we were there for a week and there was just so much going on, and I have so many photos on my phone, and I'm sure that I could have a story for every single one of them, so I could probably make this video a week long in itself, which we will not do. But it was a great time. I enjoyed it, and I made some core memories with some of my best friends, and I can't wait to go back again. Now, to be honest, that trip ate up a lot of my time in December, and I didn't have much time to work on crafts or sewing or much of anything else. In fact, I feel like I'm still trying to catch up from everything that I missed while I was gone. I did miss 2 live streams, but thanks to y'all for jumping in and watching some of my older videos to make sure to keep my channel active in the algorithm. Greatly appreciate y'all for doing that. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to really do a whole lot. We did do a little bit when I got back. We did a little bit of sewing on a live stream where I made this. It was sitting right behind me. I made this. This is going to get turned into a bag, and I think it's going to get turned into the Buy Annie drop zone bag. I need to make one so that way I know what I'm doing in order to make several more for gifts. And I wanted to start off with this cute little mini charm pack that Mary gave me. So I went ahead and put this together. I need to actually, do the rest of it and put the whole bag together, but at least I've got the foundation started. And yeah, that was, to be honest, when I came back from Florida, I kind of lost my sojo. I didn't really want to work on a lot of projects. In fact, I didn't really want to sew at all. And I didn't. Before Christmas, you may remember that I wrapped presents instead of doing sewing because I was a little bit behind on getting those presents wrapped for Christmas, which, by the way, had an excellent Christmas. I spent time with Becca and her family, and it was great. Spent time with my friend Josh and his family, which was also great. So a great Christmas all around. Wonderful presents. I love what I got. But I loved spending time with everybody and getting to really enjoy the holiday season after, several years of not having Christmases per se, kind of spending them on my own or not with friends and family. So it was great to do that and get some really good time in with my friends. Sounds like the theme of this video is going to be spending time with friends, and I guess that's what really matters in December. Now, one of the projects that I did finish before I left for Orlando, because I needed to take it with me, was a quilt for my niece. Every year the kids have an adult that chooses them, or they choose an adult. It's kind of random how it happens. But anyways, I had one of my nieces that I needed to have a gift for, and of course I had a quilt on hand. I worked on the Sassy Sunflower quilt a while back, and I went ahead and quilted it up, and I got it ready for me to take to Florida with me because my friend Tisha was going to take it back with her, so that way I didn't have to pay postage and send it all the way down to Texas. But I did go ahead and finish that up, and I put the binding on it, and my niece loved it. I saw her open it up, and she absolutely loved it. And I think it fit her personality pretty well. So anywho, very glad I got that finished, and thank you, Tisha, for taking that back to DFW for me. Now, after we got back, I spent some time in Becca's sewing room and finished out a project that you may remember from this past September, October, somewhere around in that range. I worked on this quilt on live stream, and I have a whole pile of quilts that quilt tops that need to be quilted. So I took the opportunity to bring this one over and actually start working on it and get it done. I finished it in a day. So it didn't take terribly long to get all quilted up, but I still need to work on putting on the binding. I did serge the edge on this one. It just needs some binding on it now, and I've already done the binding. I was smart. When I was working on this quilt, I had leftover pieces that I was able to put together, scraps, and leftover pieces from the jelly roll that I was using, and was able to make the binding. So all I have to do is actually use the binding on this one. I am waiting for new labels. Since I worked on creating a new logo for my channel, I sent off my image to get printed onto fabric, so I'm still waiting for that to come in, and I really want to use the new labels for the quilts that I start and finish in 2026, so I'm waiting for that label to come in before I put the binding on. But it is ready for binding, it is ready to go, just gotta wait for that label. On one of the Vintage Sunday live streams, you saw me working on putting another Pride quilt, like wall hanging or whatever you want to call this. I worked on putting another one together. I've shown this off before, but I finished it and it is ready to get quilted. And I was hoping to quilt it with the quilt that you saw just a moment ago, but unfortunately I didn't have enough backing. I thought I was going to have enough batting and backing in order to sneak this one onto the long arm so that way I could get it done, but unfortunately there just wasn't enough room. I was short by just a few inches, but you know, there's nothing you can do about it. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to finish this one yet. As soon as either Becca or I have a little extra space on the long arm, I'm going to try and throw this one on so that way I can get this one finished up. And what I'm doing is, you've seen me make a few of these pride flags so far. I'm hoping to give them to people in the community that I feel represent the LGBTQ community well. I've given one to Kathy Zilski. She's always a champion for LGBTQ, and she absolutely loved it. Her husband loved it. I'm so thankful that they are enjoying it, but I have a couple more that I want to make and give to friends and people in the community that I think are very deserving. Also this month, I've been working on the Cut and Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt Under the Sea. We have finished Flyaway, almost forgot the name. We finished Flyaway, it's under the sea right now, and we're getting ready for Field of Dreamers. I am actually going to be working on 2 quilts for Field of Dreamers. I purchased one myself, and then of course Cotton Cuts gave me one. I'm going to be working on Dear Diary, and I can't remember, I keep wanting to say Nightshade, and that's not it, but the one that's the Tula Grey Works, I wanted to work on that one as well. So officially for Cotton Cuts, I'm going to be working on Dear Diary, but in the background, I'm also going to be working on the Tula Pink colorway as well. So yeah, I worked on Under the Sea, getting that clue finished up, and well, actually, I'm working a little bit ahead. Thankfully, they've snuck me the clues a little bit early, so that way I can get those finished, which is good because I feel like I'm behind on just about everything. So, been working on all of that, and can't wait to see what the final reveal is. It's hard to believe that we are in month 6, I believe, of Under the Sea. We are over halfway there and almost to the big reveal, so be on the lookout for that in April. I also have started working on my quilted jacket for QuiltCon. We're just about a month and a half away from QuiltCon, so I really need to get my butt in gear and working on that quilt. Well, the quilt jacket. I'm making a quilt first and then turning it into a jacket, so it kind of makes it easier that way. But anyways, so the first step I had to do, of course, was to wash the fabric, so that way when I do wash the jacket, it doesn't shrink up on me. So anywho, I washed the fabric, and now I need to press it and then cut it. I have laid everything out in an Excel spreadsheet to kind of make sure I know what I'm doing with my pattern and everything, but it's going to look so great. It is Patrick Loose Glisten fabric, and I'm if it turns out the way I'm hoping it will turn out, I think it's going to be a showstopper. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I worked on in the month of December. It was 90% Disney. Like, most of my time and focus was on Disney World. Didn't really have time for much else, but you know what? That's okay. I think I'm finishing out the year strong and kicking off 2026 on a good note. So there you have it. 2026, I predict, is going to be an amazing year, and I am so excited for y'all to take this journey with me. We have the Alaskan cruise in August, which I'm going to try and vlog as well as enjoy, so be on the lookout for all of that stuff happening in August. Can't believe that's like so soon. It's far, but it's soon, and anyways, it's going to be a great year, and I can't wait to take this journey with all of you. Alright guys, let's take a look at some of the projects that you were working on during the month of December. All right, guys, I think that pretty much wraps everything up with the exception of the slideshow. So that's coming up to you right now. So make sure to stick around for that. Until then, guys, remember, normal is just a setting on the dryer. See you next time.